copy it. Don't waste any time getting it. But two other things. You got a tendency paper, and you got to get the skills. Get you where you want to go, right? Then, you get ready, you get set, then you can give her. So do it.
Good job.
Come on. Go get it. Over.
Thanks for coming this morning, everyone. This is the third session of You Are Your Own Compass, entitled Giver. Our guest speakers is Gary from the first session and Nancy from the second session, and they'd like to thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, welcome everyone. This is the third and final session of You Are Your Own Compass, personal development exploration. If you remember back from the first session, we were looking at who you are, where you're going, what your dreams are. We took a look to see where we were and where we fitted in the larger world, which sometimes can be overwhelming. Then we explored all kinds of ideas, and we talked about a number of celebrities, entertainers, business people, and athletes. Today we're here to try and help you, now that you have your dream and you set your goals. We're going to try to give you some strategies today to help you get along and you can go do what you want to do. All of these things were involved in the first two sessions. The skills and the knowledge, the relationships with your friends and your parents, getting the job you want in life, peer pressure, all of those things were involved. What I'd like to do right now is pass off to Nancy. She's going to take over for the next few minutes. Nancy's a master storyteller. Today she has a story she's going to share with us that has 4 key points, 4 key messages. So if you could, let's give Nancy our full attention for the next few moments.
Hi everyone. How many happy people do we have out there today? Can everybody raise this for me? How many Islander fans? Islander fans. How many Maple Leaf fans? Okay, so we have more happy people than sad people. Well, last session we talked about getting set. And when we get set, what we do is we build bridges towards our dreams. Simple. And when we build bridges, there are 3 basic steps. The first step is knowing where you are and where you're going. The second step is going into that toolbox that's underneath your couch, pulling it out and taking out 2 instruments, the compass and the clock. Now the compass is going to help you to set your goals, to break your dreams into small steps that you can take 1 step at a time. The clock is going to help you to manage your time. You're only given 24 hours a day to accomplish your goals, so you have to make the most of that time. And what you do, one suggestion was to do a to-do list. Get up in the morning and write down everything you want to accomplish for that day, prioritize them, and as you accomplish them, check one off at a time. The most important thing, when you put it all together, is rewarding yourself for your accomplishments. Now, to illustrate that point last session, I told a very simple story. And you know, I tell that story, and the story I'm going to tell today, to adults. And when I tell it to adults, they say, wow, that was kind of deep. It took me a while to catch on to that. It was profound in some parts. And I tell it to people your age, and I hear them saying, do you think we're in kindergarten or something? Well, 2 things are happening there. Either some people out there are not getting it, or you're all a lot smarter than the adults that I tell it to. Which one is it? Okay, so you're going to get this story. Now, in the first session, the story was about a man who lived in a very ordinary place called the comfort zone. Now, the comfort zone was a place where people didn't go anywhere and people didn't do anything. He was lounging around on the couch one day when an eagle appeared from a distant land. And the eagle told him there was more. Well, he ended up chasing the eagle to a cliff. And the cliff led to a huge canyon. On the other side of that canyon, there was a beautiful place. Well, the man decided he was going to go to that place, so he had to build himself a bridge. He got his toolbox out, took out his compass and his clock, and he built himself a bridge towards his dream. Now, in the last session, he was on that bridge, and he was heading toward his dream. He was taking one small step at a time, enjoying the way his body felt in motion. Sometimes he stumbled and sometimes he fell, but he kept going forward. Then, as he was walking, he could hear footsteps behind him. He walked a little faster. The footsteps got faster and louder. The man became frightened. He stopped where he was, took a deep breath, and turned around to see what was there. And there, standing behind him, was a huge, furry creature. And the man said, "Who are you?" And the creature said, "I am Nasty What If. They have sent me from the comfort zone to come and get you. They want you back." And the man said, "Oh no, buddy, I'm not going back with you. I'm heading toward my dream." And the What If said, "I don't think so." And he jumped in front of the man, held out his huge furry paws, and began to push the man backwards. With every push, he would shout out a nasty What If statement. "Well, what if you fall? What if they laugh at you? What if you don't make it? What if you fail?" And with every push, and with every nasty what if, the man felt himself going backwards and backwards towards the comfort zone, getting smaller and smaller each time. Well, the eagle hadn't forgotten the man. He was still waiting for him in that special place. And the eagle called out and said, "You are bigger and stronger than What If." The man said, "Yeah, right, you're not standing behind this guy, he's humongous." The eagle called out again, "You are bigger and stronger than What If. Believe in yourself." And that hit home. The man stopped, and with all the strength and courage he could muster, he held out his hand and he began to push nasty What If backwards. And with every push he would yell out a positive What If statement. "Well, what if I do make it? What if I do get to where I'm going? What if it's everything I imagine it to be and more? What if I succeed?" And with every push, and with every what if, Nasty got smaller and smaller and smaller until, poof, he was gone. The man smiled and went on his journey, taking one small step at a time. Sometimes he stumbled and sometimes he fell, but he kept moving forward. And then, as he was walking, he seen a cloud in the distance. It was just an ordinary cloud, something he would have passed under 1,000 times before without even noticing. But this time the cloud caught his attention. And he looked at the cloud, and as he looked at the cloud came closer and closer to him. And just when it was above his head, he realized it wasn't an ordinary cloud at all. From that cloud was a wonderful, powerful, magical woman who looked down at the man. And she said, "I am opportunity. I am here to make your journey easier. Take me by the hand." And she extended her hand out to the man. But the man hesitated at first. He was frightened. He was just about to turn his back on opportunity when something about her face made him trust her. So he reached out his hand and he grabbed her hand, and together they traveled down the bridge about a mile. Gently she set him down, much closer to his destination. He said, "Thanks, lady." And she said, "Remember, opportunity only presents itself whenever you are moving forward. Keep moving forward. Take her by the hand when she comes your way." The man said, "Yeah, right." Continued on his way, taking one small step at a time. Sometimes he stumbled and sometimes he fell, but he kept moving forward. And then, as he was walking, Out from under the bridge popped this huge, ugly, smelly toad. And the toad perched itself on the rail of the bridge. And the man said, "Who are you?" And the toad said, "I am change. I'm here to warn you that things are different up ahead. They're not safe like they are in the comfort zone. You may not like it." The man stopped and looked at change. He remembered what it was like in the comfort zone, how safe it was because nothing changed. And part of him wanted to go back there. Then he remembered where he was going, and part of him wanted to go towards that dream. So he stood facing change, and he did not like the way change made him feel, so he decided to fight change. He reached into his toolbox, grabbed a huge mallet, and was just about to pound that toad over the head when something dawned on him. He remembered a silly fairy tale from the past. He put the mallet back in the toolbox, went over to the toad, wrapped his arms around the toad, and gave it a great big kiss. And poof, the toad changed, and it turned into a successful businesswoman. Well, the businesswoman jumped off the rail, thanked the man, and went on towards her own dream. And the man realized that change can actually turn into success. Embracing change can make magical things happen. So he continued on his journey, taking one small step at a time. Sometimes he stumbled and sometimes he fell, but he kept moving forward toward his dream. And just when he was about to reach the end of the bridge, he looked down to see this long trail of ants walking in front of him. And he bent down and said to one of the little fellows who was carrying a rock about 10 times its size, "Who are you?" And the ant stopped. And he looked up at the man. He said, "I am Perseverance, Percy for short. I always complete my tasks. If something gets in my way, I find my way around it. If my load gets too heavy, I find the strength to carry it. I always get to where I'm going because I am Perseverance." And the man thought, "Well, that's pretty cool. Do you mind if I follow you, Percy?" And Percy looked up at the man and said, "You've been following us all along." Ooh. The man kept walking. And then he reached the end of the bridge. He stopped where he was and took those steps off the bridge into that place he was heading towards. And it was more than he imagined when he was over in the comfort zone. It was magnificent. And there, waiting at the end of the bridge, was the eagle. The man ran over to the eagle and said, "Wow, I made it. Feeling so good about himself. I guess I won't be needing these anymore," he said. And he was just about to set down his toolbox, his compass, and his clock when the eagle shook its head. "No, buddy." And he took the man, and together they walked through the land. They saw all the adventures, they saw all the beauty, and they kept walking and walking and walking until they got to something the man was hoping he would never, ever have to see again. Another cliff and another canyon. Beyond that canyon was another place. And the eagle pointed to that place and he said, "See there? Someday you may wish to go there. So keep your toolbox, keep your compass, keep your clock. You may be building more bridges in the future. But for now, enjoy where you are. Make the most of this place. Make the most of this day. You deserve it." And the man did just that. He enjoyed every adventure in that place that he had hit. And he enjoyed every moment of his day. But he always kept his toolbox, and his compass, and his clock handy. Because he knew that someday, he would be building another bridge. Simple story, right? Simple? Well, you know what? I think that story is intended for only mature minds. I actually rated an R. R for ready to move. Only those of you out there today who are ready to move, who are ready to make a difference. Some small change in themselves and in this world will get that story. It is a story from mature minds. And do you know what I think? I think every single one of you in this room is ready to move. You are ready to giver. Now, you will face bridges in your own life. Many people have. And you will cross those bridges. And when you cross those bridges, you will meet the characters that this man had met on his bridge. There is no doubt about it that you will meet the nasty what-ifs, the dream killers. Now, Gary's going to do a whole session on dream killers, so we're going to push nasty aside for now. But you'll also meet somebody called opportunity. Now, the thing about opportunity is that she only appears when you are moving forward. So you need to keep moving forward. And when she comes your way, you will have a choice. You can take her by the hand, or you can turn your back on her. If you take her by the hand, you will get to your dream a lot easier and a lot sooner. I met opportunity many, many times in my own life. When I was sitting in those chairs there, where you are right now, just a couple of years ago, I had this crazy idea, a crazy dream of actually standing in front of a huge crowd of people and yapping my mouth off. It was a crazy dream for someone like me because I could not even raise my hand in class to answer a question. I was painfully shy. An opportunity was all around me to learn how to speak. There was the oratory club, there was the drama club, there was the simple raising my hand in class. But I kept turning my back on opportunity. Well, when I was late in my 30s, I decided to stop that and to take opportunity by the hand, so I joined Toastmasters. And I learned how to speak. Slowly and painfully, I took the steps across the bridge, using opportunity's hand to help me. You can do the same. I am still taking baby steps towards my dream, but with every chance that I take, every time I stand up in front of a crowd, I'm growing a little bit closer to my dream. And you can do that too. The other thing about opportunity is that she sometimes comes disguised in the obvious, in simple ideas that just seem too simple to build upon. Before 1959, goalies stood barefaced in front of pucks, fast-moving pucks, getting their faces beat to pieces for the sake of a game. It just seemed too simple of an idea to cover those faces. Well, not for a man named Jacques Pont. You know who he was? Yeah. He invented a goalie mask, or built upon that idea of a goalie mask. Now, for all of you guys and gals that's playing goal now, can you see yourself standing in front of a puck without a mask on your face? I don't think so. Yeah. You want to protect your teeth and you want to protect yourself from stitches. I'm a nurse. I know what sutures look like. So that was one simple idea, an opportunity that was built upon from a simple idea. Now another character that you will meet is someone called change. And change is a scary thing. Okay? And when change comes your way, you will have a choice. You can embrace change, or you can fight change. If you fight change, I guarantee you will go nowhere. If you embrace change, make the most of change, miraculous things can happen. Change can turn into success. Now, you can go out and kiss all the toes you like. They're not going to change you into successful business women. But if you make one small change for yourself, do one small thing for yourself in your life that you have control over, your whole future can change. One small change can dramatically change the outcome of your future. Can you think of one small change that you can make today? Think about it. The other character that you will meet is someone called perseverance. Percy for short. Now, just like it, perseverance is that thing that gets you there. Okay? Perseverance is that drive that keeps you moving forward. Perseverance is that thing that helps you get the job. And it's that thing that helps you stay in school even when you don't feel like staying in school. A mother once, not too long ago, went to get her son up for school. She poked her head through the door and said, "Listen, it's time to get up to school, son." And her son said, "Oh, Mom, I don't want to go to school today." And the mother said, "You give me 2 good reasons why you don't think you should have to go to school." And the son said, "Number 1, the kids don't like me. Number 2, the teachers don't like me." And the mother said, "Fair enough." And then the son said, "Mom, you give me 2 reasons why I should have to go to school." And the mother said, "Number 1, you're 52 years old. And number 2, you're the principal. Perseverance will keep you in school. And you all have that drive inside of you." Now, there are many, many people right in our own backyards who have achieved success. Can you think of any successful people from this area? Okay. Can you think of any hockey players who went to school here who played for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Right on. Can you think of any writers who won a Giller? Writers who just won the Giller Award not too long ago for a book called Have Mercy on the Children? David Adam Richards from the Miramichi. Okay? There are many, many people here who have succeeded. Okay? And they're all in your backyard, and you can learn from them. You can get your inspiration and your motivation from them. Keep that in mind. Opportunity is all around you, right here on the Miramichi. Be open to it. Recognize it when it comes your way. The thing about success is loving what you do and doing what you love. And it's all in the doing, and the doing is your choice. Keep moving, move with purpose, move with enthusiasm, and you will get to where you're going. Do you remember the dreams learned on, or the things learned on the bridge? The first one was believe in yourself. You are bigger than any nasty what if. Take opportunity by the hand and you will get towards your dream a lot faster. Change can lead to success. Perseverance will get you there, and you all have perseverance. But the biggest lesson is this. Always be ready to build more bridges. Now I'm going to hand the microphone over to Gary, and he's going to talk about some of our valuable resources. Gary, sorry.
Thank you, Nancy. Isn't she a great storyteller? Wow. I'd have to ask you a question. What was your favorite character? Who was your favorite character? Was it Opportunity? Change. What about Nasty? What about Percy? Well, my favorite character was Percy. And last night on the way home, I stopped at the theater, and I found his great-great-great-great-grandfather, that he was hanging out there in this so-called Ice Age. And really, really effective guy. Now, is that persistence? Basically, there's 2 major resources that we want to just highlight. One is time. We already touched on it. We all have the same amount of it. How are you going to invest or spend your time? From there, a gentleman by the name of Jim Rowan puts it, do not start your day until it is completed. Then he goes on to say, do not start your week until it is completed. And then he says, when you get really, really good, do not start your month until it is finished. And what he's referring to is do not start your day until you have it completed on paper, and you'll accomplish a lot more. When we did the survey, what came back from it was money. 55+% of this school wanted, the number 1 wish was money. So because of that, we said, hey, we better talk at least 5 minutes on money. And I know it's a boring topic, but everybody seems to want it. So money is a major resource. Zig Ziglar states, money's like oxygen. Makes life a lot easier. A gentleman by the name of Jim Rowan says, having money is financial independence. Financial independence is the ability to live from the income of your personal resources. How are you going to build your personal resources? And you're at the right age to start. It's great. Robert Kiyosaki He wrote a book, it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he basically states that when what the rich teach their kids about money, that the poor and the middle class do not. The main reason why people struggle financially is because they have spent years in school but learned nothing about money. The result is that people learn to work for money but never learn to have money work for them. So you have to think about it, get money working for you if you're going to be effective. You can build your personal resources. What is capital? Everybody says capital. Capital is money. Capital is derived from money. Money makes capital. Now, I know this is boring stuff, but guess what? Y'all want it, so think about it. Very simple stuff. Capital is what you set aside to be invested in a business opportunity that gives value to the marketplace, hoping to make a profit. So capitalism is something that if somebody was trying to make some money, they make money, they make capital, therefore they're a capitalist. So when you think of capitalists, don't think of a big company coming in taking advantage of the little guy. That's not the case. The poor philosophy, spend your dollars, save what is left. The rich philosophy, invest your dollars, spend what is left. Jim Rohn states it clearly. So there's a couple of schools of thought on that, and basically when you look at that, it makes nothing but good sense. He also says, if I only had more money, I'd have a better plan. Not the case. If you had a better plan, you'd have more money. Now let's look at what Jim Rohn, he has told us to share this with you in his amazing plan on how to spend a dollar. It's a very simple plan. If you implement this, guaranteed you'll have financial resources for the rest of your life. So, to start with this, how do you spend a dollar? He states you take 70 cents of this and you live off it. You pay your bills, you do whatever you have to do. You take 10 cents of it and you give to charity. And what that does is when you give 10 cents to charity, you turn around and you feel good about it and it brings you up. So your self-esteem gets better, so you get more energy. You take the next 10 cents and you put it into active capital. Now active capital or active money is what you invest back into what you're doing. You take the next 10 cents of it and you put it into a thing called passive capital. Now passive capital is what you're going to donate into the stock market, you're going to put it into the bank, you're going to invest in somebody else who has a business plan or has an idea. And then when they start making money, it's going to come back for you. So to illustrate this, we have Johnny. Do you remember when you were a little guy or a little girl and you wanted to start your own business, your own Kool-Aid stand alongside the road? I think we all had those dreams of making a few extra dollars. Well, Johnny wanted to start his own business. So he went to his mother, he had $2 saved up from his allowance, he bought a bottle of soap. He runs across the road to Mrs. Jones, knocks on the door and says, Johnny, Mrs. Jones, I'm here, I started my own business. I am now an entrepreneur. I want to make some money, but I want to look after you and your needs. I know you need soap, I'm right across the road, and I've got the best soap in town. You don't have to go to the market. Mrs. Jones says, great, Johnny, but I've got lots of soap. Well, let me come in and check. So he goes in and checks, and guess what? She buys the soap because of his persistence. He turns around and sells it to her for $3. So what does he do with the $3? The first thing he does is he spends $2 and buys another bottle of soap. Second thing what he does, he has $1 left over in profit, so he implements the plan. He takes 70 cents of which he's saving for a new bike. He turns around, takes 10 cents and puts it back into his business because he wants to be able to buy more soap. And he takes 10 cents and puts it in his tin can because he got a little brother come along who he wants to invest in him down the road so he can turn around and make money on his little brother. And he also takes 10 cents to the SPCA for the little dog down there because he wants to make sure he gets looked after and he feels great about that. So Johnny is what? He made a profit. Johnny's 7 years old, and he's the youngest capitalist on the street. But the thing about it is he made a profit, and he feels pretty good about that. The success of the plan all depends on 3 points. You be doing the best that you can do, being the best you can be, making the most of your resources, your time resources, and your money resources. And the third thing is how you think. How you think is very important because when you look at things, let's take for example, when you go to school, study hard, go get a good job, work for a company. For a good company, mind you. But why not study hard, work hard, go find a good company, and go buy it? Think about that. Change your thinking. What about you're doing a resume up and you're doing great on your resume to go get a job? Well, why not take it a step further and learn how to make a good business plan? That's all it looks. It's up to teachers and teach you. The next thing you turn around and look at, say you go to buy a new bike, or never mind the bike, let's step up to a new car, or even a used car. I like it, it's red. Well, rather than look at it and say, I can't afford that and walk away, why not look at it and say, hey, I think I like that. Now what can I do to make money to buy that? And that is the secret. You start thinking. When you start thinking, ideas start happening. Now you may not buy the car, but at least you got the process going. So from there, the whole process goes into where do you fit in the philosophy of demand philosophy versus performance philosophy. And this is something that we're missing because performance philosophy is where it's at. And I'll give you an example. In Canada, we're living in the best country in the world. You heard Gary speak about Argentina and the starving, the no opportunities. You heard him talk about Mexico and the poverty. Well, when you're $5.75 an hour working either at McDonald's or wherever, serving hamburgers, that's good. But the thing is, to get a raise, you have to wait for minimum wage to go up. You have to turn and wait till you get a raise. And if that doesn't happen, you're there $5.75. That's called demand philosophy. Now the great ladder keeps going up. Now the other highest on the scale last year was $64 million, not with Mr. Gates, but there's all kinds of standards between that. And what he has done, what's different with him, is that he has added value, to the marketplace. People are looking for value, and they're looking, well, to pay him $64 million. You say, well, what? That's a lot of money. But he has companies at $840 billion, so it's everything in perspective. So change yourself, and your outcome changes. Profits are better than wages. It's just something to think about, how you think. Money is good. Oprah, she's doing great things with all her millions. She started from nothing. The story of Mary told us about Oprah starting in Louisiana on a dirt floor. She's made millions, and how's she doing it? Helping people. But Bill Gates, $24 billion to Africa for the AIDS cause. So money is good. You have to have money to do good things. But beware of the love of money. When you start, you know when you have it, when you start lying to your friends and your business colleagues, you become a little deceitful, you start doing things that are against your moral fiber. Guess what? Then it's a lot of money. Beware of that because you're all going to be tempted with it. Money is power. But what's more powerful is financial education. Learn about money and how it can work for you, and you'll be more powerful rather than you working for it. How do you look at money? And this is a thing in our society, we have a problem. We look at money and say, money's not good because, money's too high, better not have that instead. How you look at money determines on what you're going to do. So once you get over this hurdle, and you get over and say that money's all right, guess what? You can then go for it. You can get and accomplish anything you want in life. So here is the dollar. And here is what I'm going to leave you with. Get up, Gary, he's up next. The dollar to do with whatever you want to do. You have a choice. You can spend it or you can invest it. You can invest it in a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or any other book on financial resources, and start from that trip. You can invest that dollar in a brochure or a product you believe in. A product that you go tell your story on. Or you can turn around and you can spend this dollar on a can of Pepsi. It's your choice. But the Pepsi isn't going to last very long. With that, along the trip, you're going to see dream killers. There's going to be people that are going to say, there's only a few of these dream killers. They're going to say all kinds of things to stop you. But those few people get around a lot. So to present you to the dream killers, here's Gary.
Thank you, Terry. So we're on the home stretch, just a few more minutes. And we've been talking about all kinds of great ideas about how to get ahead in life. And I was thinking about the dream killers and I decided what I would do is go out and interview real people. And the stories I'm going to share with you are from people in real life. They're not entertainers. They're not celebrities. They're ordinary people who are living extraordinary lives. And all of these stories, in their own words, are glorious stories of people becoming successful. They had all kinds of nasty what-ifs thrown at them. They took the hand of opportunity and went ahead. They embraced change, and they persevered. So the first person I interviewed is this person up here. She works in the medical field. She's an administrator and very successful. When she was a young kid, everybody made fun of her. And her self-esteem was at a very, very low time. She's a single mother. And along the way, she was ridiculed for everything she did. And she found out that I'm pretty good at certain things. One of them is writing. So she took that unique talent and she started to write. And by using that unique talent, she went on to become very successful in this field. So her dream killer was, of course, the fear of failure, and she overcame that fear by developing that unique talent and going on to become successful. The next person that I spoke to, thank you, Stacy. The next person I spoke to lives in New York City. She works actually on Fifth Avenue, not very far from where the terrorists attacked in September. Her dream as a young girl was to be an actress. Her father was a minister and said, "No, you can't do that. I don't want my daughter being an actress. You better do something else." So she said, "That's fine." She decided that she'd get a good job, and she became an actress, if you will, in her own company, because she's an educator inside her own company, and she used her gifts of expression and her talent in acting to educate other people. So her dream killer was trying to get over the fear of trying to please everybody else, which is a very difficult task, and she went on from there. The third person I interviewed is a professional skier. He told me he had all kinds of dreams. What he learned most of all when he had his dreams was, don't tell too many people. He said, the more people you tell, then the more opportunity they have to shoot you down, make fun of you and ridicule you. So he says, if you've got a dream and you've got a good plan, all the things we've been talking about, go do it. Stop talking about it, go do it. Share it only with a few close friends. He said his biggest fear was not the fear of failing, but the fear of doing what it took to succeed. So his dream killer, of course, was worrying about the put down, and then he just said, well, I'm not going to worry about it, go do it. The next person we come to is a very successful business person. And when I asked him about it, he remembered an incident that took place in grade 8, which is a long time ago for him. He's 45, and it was with a baseball coach. He's a diehard Red Sox fan, always was, and he wanted to play Major League Baseball. One day at practice, he was out in the field and missed the fly ball, and the coach came out yelling and screaming at him, told him he was an idiot, you're no good, why do you bother even playing? Not long after that, he quit playing baseball and never played again. So his dream killer was the opinion of someone else. And what he did, he built another bridge. He went on to get a first-rate education. He learned all about what Terry was talking about. Learned all about money and capitalism and became a very, very successful person in the business world. And lastly, the last person I talked to was a golf pro. He wanted to try out for the professional tour, and I said, well, what was that like? He said, well, when I told everybody I was going to try out for the tour, they said I was an idiot. Oh, and by the way, you know what? You're not that good. Who do you think you are? You'll never make it. You're from New Brunswick. You have no chance. So when he heard all the negative dream killers, he said it just made me work harder. The other good news is that there were a lot of people who supported him. So what he did, he stayed away from the dream killers, the big nasty what-ifs, and he surrounded himself with all these positive people. And everywhere he went, he had someone looking after him. So when the nasty what-ifs came along, they were there to help him. When the opportunity, they were there to encourage him. When he was afraid of change, they were there to help him. When he was losing his focus and couldn't practice, they were there to persevere and keep his focus. So in closing, let me remind you of something. Every one of you are unique, marvelous people. You have the capacity to do anything in the world, anything you want to do. We hope that along the way in these 3 sessions we've given you some ideas, got you thinking, hopefully give you some strategies to develop your plans and go for it. One of the most famous painters of the 20th century said this: "My father wanted me to become a general in the army. My mother wanted me to become a cardinal in the church. My friends wanted me to play it safe, to be just like them. I fooled them all and became Picasso. Who are you going to become? What's your contribution to the world going to be?" Thank you.
Well, guys, we're coming to the best part, the conclusion, and we have a Walkman that we're going to be drawing for, and we also have some sweatshirts, t-shirt set that we put together for you guys. Now, this is a CD Walkman, and once again, tons of names here, so you guys did a really good job. Once we draw for the CD Walkman, then we're going to be drawing for the t-shirts, then we're going to be turning it over to Terry Magic. We'd like to thank a few people, so sit tight, and then enjoy the slideshow. Okay? So, Stacey is going to explain to you what the names mean for the draw.
Thank you, Andy. Last time we had asked all of you to think of what you wanted to do and to write it down, to make a list of your goals, put a time frame on them, and most importantly, write them down. So from that, we have some names of people who have done that. We got it from your teacher, Mrs. Cormier, and also a few who sent us emails saying that you had completed the project. So we have those names. Where's your name? Erie, do you want to come over and draw names for us, please? This is for a t-shirt, and the winner is Heather Doyle. Okay, I'm going to draw another name for a t-shirt. And the name is Linda Brown. Okay, the third t-shirt going to Megan Kingston. Okay, now we're going to draw for the grand prize, which is a Sony CD player. We put those 3 names back into the draw for the grand prize, and the CD player, just to mention, was donated to us by UPM Hyman. And the winner is Devin Carroll. Congratulations. Okay, we have a few more small prizes that were donated to us from Subway, Blockbuster Video, and McDonald's. Okay, Heather Hoskins. Come on up to Andy and get your prize. Allison McLean. Hillary Hamilton. Come on, guys. Sarah Clark. Brian Martin.
Thank you, Stacy and Andy. I'd like to thank the teachers of the school and the school district for the great support. But before you leave, we have a slide presentation to show you. Just as a close, we took a couple of pictures this morning, understand? So, and most of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you.
Time to go.